Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first interview under Muay Thai Testament. The first interview that I did, that I am doing with my face on it actually. It's one of my first interviews with my face on it and also with a foreign fighter.
With a foreign fighter, all in English. Oh, okay.
With a foreign fighter here at Buncha. Introduce yourself, bro.
So I'm Archie Marlow, or Archie Buncha.
You also knew that me as Muay Thai Testament was here at Buncha before.
Yeah, I did. I knew you were here. It's not why I came, but when I arrived, when I got to Thailand, I sort of did the usual thing I do, where I looked for different gyms, and Warrucha sort of cropped to the top for me with location, and came to visit the gym. But I gave you a message that I was coming, and
on the day where we had a fight event.
Yes, you had a big fight event, so I came ready to train and everything, and there was like no training on, and I was like, so we stayed to watch the fight show.
So I didn't realize that you were there to train.
Yeah, I came ready. I came in shorts, wraps, everything. Mate, there was no one here, and I was just like, what is going on? I was like, no. I'd been to like 4 gyms at that point, and I was like, fuck. I
4 gyms at that point.
I tried like everywhere in where I wanted to stay, and there was only really like 2 or 3 that hit the spot, and I wanted to come here, but there was no one here, and I was like, oh my God, I've not had a good start in Thailand. I was like, I'd been here 2 weeks, and I was like, I should have had a fight by now. I'm like, and I couldn't even find a gym, but yeah, eventually got here. I remember meeting you, and I was like, oh yeah, I do recognise your voice. Yeah, I can see it now.
The first time over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, what's up? And then you just shook my hand, not knowing who I am, and I'm like, Muay Thai Testament.
Like, yes, there it is.
People on the internet.
It was the show. It was speaking to Phil a bit. It was speaking to a couple of the foreign fighters who were watching the show and asking them like, what's the deal? Do you clinch a lot? What's the general training routine like? That was my first taste of the gym. Yeah, mad day.
So why did you come to Thailand in the first place?
I came to Thailand in the first place. I've been here pretty much every year for the last 4 or 5 years, usually for a short amount of time. I just come to get away, enjoy the lifestyle, learn Thai boxing here. This time was my first time coming like one way with the idea of fighting, and I just came really to like get the rounds in, if fighting. I'm at a point in England where I'm leaving the pro-am circuit into the full pro circuit.
So in England there's pro, amateur?
Yeah, so we separate it more in England. We have like amateur, semi-pro, pro, and the jump in England from semi-pro to pro is quite high. This is like, once you get out of amateur, semi-pro to pro, it's like this huge jump. And for me, I'm just about there technique-wise, but I lack the fights. I haven't got the experience, the raw experience. But in England, there's only so many people at sort of like pro level. Would you
say to get that amount of experience, you need to fight in Thailand for Muay Thai?
I think so, because in England, you end up running out of people. Once you go pro, unless you start avoiding people, you're 2 fights away from like top 10, top 5. It can roll really quick. And then once you get there, you're at this position where you can't just like fight for like month, like amateur semi-pro, I've just been racking them up like every month. You can't really do that pro because you run out of people. So yeah, the idea was to come here, rack up as much as possible, and then get home and sort of take on the next level of English fighting, really. Yeah.
That's totally different from the Thai belief.
Yes.
Because in Thailand, a lot of newer fans from through like one championship basically would imagine there are a bunch of foreign fighters. Muay Thai is worldwide. It's like football. It's as big as the NBA, and that there's a fucking plethora amount of opponents elsewhere.
To be fair, the Muay Thai scene in England, I would consider good and popular, like especially compared like when I speak to like other Europeans here or people from wherever, like I would say we're very lucky in England. There is lots of opponents. It's just like once you get to a certain level, you're like 1 or 2 away from like very good people. And my coach, he told me like his theory early on was, if you rush yourself to them, that's great. But if you lack the experience, once you crumble, it can be hard to come back because you can't start fighting down again. So for me, it was coming here, just getting raw experience. It's what I lack most. So that was always the idea.
Yeah, I can imagine that, because you have like these guys who they run into someone, they lose multiple times. They can still find someone of that level. Of
course. And the difference is, the big difference is how many fights we've all had. In England, that here they're fighting from so young. And don't get me wrong, there are people in England who fight from young, but the junior circuit compared to how Thais fight is so different. And I wasn't on the junior circuit, so I've got a lot of fighting experience to catch up on. So yeah.
One of the things that the commentators phoned me before your fight to ask information about you, because we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But the real question is that I wanted to ask was, how many fights had you had so far, and when did you start?
So it really depends how you see it. So a lot of Thais won't consider like amateur to be even a fight because of the shin guards. I would say I've had 16 fights because I count it. They're not that much different. I'm fighting people my own level. Both of us are there to win. Yeah, it's like shin pads and but I would consider it fight experience. So I would say I've had 16 fights. But on a pro record, 6, 7.
When did you start fighting?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So you're around 25 now?
Yes, I'm 25 now. Yeah.
So you start fighting after you're already 20?
Yeah, I was 23 when I had my first fight, yeah.
What triggered you in your 20s to start fighting Muay Thai?
So I'd been training for 2 years at that point. So I started Thai boxing when I was 21. I'd been to Thailand a couple times. And I'll be honest, at first I never thought about fighting. I didn't think I was good enough. I thought it was too late. I wanted to train for fun. And then once I'd come to Thailand, like once, I was like, okay, like I've got good technique, like, I wasn't the most confident. I never like felt arrogant or like, oh, I want to fight. I enjoyed training. But funnily enough, I remember just speaking to a couple Thais in Thailand and they were so casual about it. Yeah. It made me feel silly not being casual about it. I remember like a really good Thai once said, like, my first gym I went to was PK Sanchai and he was like, oh, you fight? Like, and I remember being like, what, you think I can? Like, I'm rubbish. Like, but you're so casual with the question, do you fight? I was like, why don't I fight? And I remember going home and from that first trip, I told Lou, like, I would like to get a fight booked and trained for a few more months. I did another trip in Thailand and we booked my first fight after that, yeah.
Yeah, Thailand and I guess the rest of the world, they take fighting so much more lighter than everyone else. Like, even I myself, the kids here, all want me to see me fight.
Yeah, it's just not like a big... And don't get me wrong, like, it's not that I was considering it a big deal. I just didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I could fight. And then when they were so like, oh, they've seen me train, they've trained with me, and they're like...
So I think you glorify fighters to a higher...
I glorified them so much. I was like, they are like my idols when I was just training. And then I sort of realized, oh, I could just, even if it's just an amateur, like, why not? It's a challenge, it's a test. Why not do it? I've been training for 2 years. I've got okay technique. I'm learning. Why not learn this side of it as well, And
it must be a big difference comparing to Thailand, because in Thailand, then your neighbors would fight. There are people who like went to bars and then they would tell me that the bar girls used to fight.
You'd be fighting here within like a month or two of training, because why not? It's part of that. And some people do that in England too. They train, they fight very quick. I'd been training for 2 years of that before I'd even had my first fight.
So the stories for the first fight of these kids would be, I was fucking around with my friends and then they pushed me into the ring.
Yeah.
Literally.
My coach in England, he's very like, I'm not going to force you to fight. It's not the same here as it at home as it is. People train for like fun, fitness. Like some people don't have that fight in them. They just want to learn a skill and have fun. He never ever doesn't even ask people they want to fight. He waits for them to come to him. So
it's a mixture of fitness and also self-improvement.
Of course,
and also the fighting.
Yeah, and like a bit, for some people it's the fighting, but I'd say for a lot of people that come through the gym, it's a skill, a bit of fun, a community to turn up to, something that's like good fitness but makes you feel like you're doing something, physical.
People here, you either are training for fitness in the malls or whatever, or you're in a camp, raised in a camp.
That's the difference. Like, our gym is never a camp unless you're a fighter.
You don't live in the gym?
Nah, of course not. I mean, I live nearby, but no one lives in the gym. And then even with our fighters, the thing with the fighter thing, I would say a good maybe 60% of our fighters, for them, it's not like this 24/7 like lifestyle obsession. I'd say there's only like maybe a few out of like a team of 20 where it's like an obsession. This like, I'm a fighter, this is my lifestyle, this is it, everything I do is for this. Whereas not many would do that, really.
And the small subset would usually just come to Thailand.
Yeah, exactly that.
So would coming here for the first time, like to War Chow in Thailand, to Thailand in general, would that be intimidating for someone like especially like you haven't had like that much experience fighting, you weren't fighting since you were a child, and then you come here, you have like, you go to see people, and then people are asking you, do you want to fight? You don't see like yourself as good enough. Like, isn't that an intimidating experience?
The very first time I came to Thailand, I did come with my coach, who he's half Burmese, and he was raised here a lot. He spent a lot of time in Thailand. His family's like owns Lamai Muay Thai, so he was there a lot.
In Samui.
In Samui, yeah. So he was always around it, and I actually came with him for my first trip, and that made it a lot easier. And then also, even though I was never confident in like being a fighter, that I felt like it was more out of respect to real fighters. It was like, I'm not trying to beat you. You guys have put so much work in, and I haven't. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a fighter. I just going to enjoy the training. But I was never scared to say no or walk into a gym. Like I remember actually at PK, they offered me a fight at Muay, and I was like, oh, probably not. Definitely not ready. And I remember, yeah, and it would have been against. I'm pretty sure it would have been against Alfie Pearce in his first Thailand fight, and I would have got murdered, bro. I would have got broken in half. It wouldn't have been fun. So
shout out Alfie, by the way. There's a good
serious killer. Oh my god, I would have got fucking murdered. So I'm glad I was like, yeah, probably not.
I've seen Alfie on Omnoy once where he KO'd.
Yeah, that was meant to be me. That exact fight that you're talking about, I remember being asked if that could be me, and I was like, no, and I didn't know it was meant to be Alf, but I'm fucking glad.
And with the timeline, I think it might have been you.
No, I'm telling you, it was me. They asked me. They asked me. I was like, no, I'm not really. And then they asked someone else who I'm friends with as well, and he went and he fought Alf, and it was just such a hard first fight for anyone, let alone me. I'd have got destroyed.
What made you want to actually choose this gym?
Choose this gym? Do you know what? A lot of it was, so like I have been to a lot of gyms in Thailand, but I've had great experiences at a good few as well. Warwickshire really stuck. I really wanted to stick here. I think speaking to the owners was the first time I've spoken to gym owners where they're very talkable. Like Phil is he's easy to talk to, and
there's usually a hierarchy thing.
Yeah, but like straight away it was like he's very talky, and then the boys are so like you really see their relationships, and you know we obviously have a language barrier, but I respect them all as like the friendships they have. It just seemed like such a friendly gym. And speaking to you, of course, as well, and then speaking to the other foreigners that were there watching that show, like the English boys, I was like, yeah, it sounds pretty spot on. And then once I got the ball rolling with training, had the fight booked, it kind of just, I never wanted to leave from there, really. So,
but you were here to also get fights as well.
That was number one for me. I didn't really care where or what. Like it was, I would like to fight pretty much as regularly as possible. And the original conversation I had with Phil was like, if I fight this week, would you ever get me a fight like the week after? Is that an option? He was like, yeah, we can put you in the countryside. Like, you know, there's multiple shows we can get me. Obviously, he didn't really know my level at that point. And he was like, look, we'll figure it out. Just get in the gym train. I was like, of course, I want to show you that I can train first. And yeah, just ball rolled from there, really.
So you want to live like a Thai, like fight as much
I just wanted to fight as much as possible,
and so from being scared of fighting, or not being scared, but not seeing yourself as good enough of a person to be a fighter, what triggered you to change your mindset to now, I want to fight every week?
Once I had my first fight, obviously in shin pads, it's pretty easy to recover. And I just always wanted to get straight back in the gym. And then I never stopped training. I never took time off after any fight. I was constantly ready. And then our gym is quite an active gym in the UK. We've got a lot of amateurs. You know, we're always on shows pretty much monthly or bi-monthly. So he's like, well, we're on a show in 2 weeks. You want to be on it? Yeah, of course I do. I've been training. I'm ready. I feel good. Of course I do. So it was like this literal constant thing where we were just racking them up. I mean, I was fighting like, I know it's normal here, but maybe not so much in the UK. I was fighting like once a week, next week cool, then the next month. The only thing that ever put me out for time was surgeries or like things like that. But on average, it's been every 40 days for me since I started.
So little by little, you became more and more.
Yeah, it was just, I was obsessed. Yeah.
Would getting a call up to fight in England and getting a call up to fight in Thailand be different to you mentally?
Like now, for me now?
In the first place.
In the first place. Yeah, like I said, if I'd had my first fight at home, I would have said yes in Thailand. But for me, I had this vision of like, where I'd never had a fight, I didn't want to feel like I'd skipped steps. I wanted to earn a Thailand fight. I didn't want obviously that Muay fight wouldn't have been a rubbish fight, but I didn't want some sort of like easy win where I'm like, feel like the man. But maybe after I had my UK fight, I would have done the same thing, yeah. But our logic was always, if you can get good at it at this level, earn your respect, do your time at this level, when you do get the extra stuff, it will be better. You'll be better at that level. For me, it was never this quick. I never wanted this quick, like,
trajectory.
Boom, boom, boom. And I always trusted the process. And then now it's starting to pay off. But even now it's respect back to the steps. You know, I was even speaking to my coach on the phone yesterday about what we're going to do when I'm back in England. They said to him, like, I don't care, just I'll fight whoever I can fight. If I win, we'll take a harder fight. If I lose, there's no one that I want particularly. I don't want any special belt or ranking spot. I just want to fight who is good and challenge myself against them, and then take it step by step by step by step. So I think that's the best way to do it.
What was it like to train here with the trainers here and then also the fighters here?
You know what? I've always held this opinion that like any gym you go to, there's like 2 or 3 boys where you're just like, wow, like
in Thailand,
different levels. Like every single, you go to like a quiet gym on the corner of nowhere, and there's a boy hitting pads. You're just like, what? And you might never ever hear of him. And I always found it crazy because we do have a very arrogant culture in the UK. We do. When it comes to fighting, our fighters are so I'm the one, and I just never got how people could do it. Because look, I've had great opportunities here. You know, people in the UK would look at me as like maybe good or successful. I'm rubbish compared to these. I'm literally like day one beginner sometimes. They're so good. As for the level maybe compared to others, like I would say Phetch, Watana, and like Not Muay, they are insanely good. Like just different. In Chalamchon, he's like he's new. He wasn't here when I arrived.
Yeah.
But they're all insane. They're all just unbelievably strong. And it really puts it into like perspective. Yeah. And it's humbling.
And your point of like, there's a good fighter everywhere, even in the gym in some countryside in the corner with like one.
And they'll be better than like the UK 1, 2, 3, 4 sometimes, and you're just like, and maybe not, but like it's just this thing I never got how it doesn't humble people, how you cannot just watch them and be like, wow, like levels.
That type of like archetype of fighter where they're just so good but not known anywhere can be applied to even your next opponent.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sarakram, he's so good. So good. He's the best. He's the best technical person I've ever fought. Yeah.
And he's fighting in like Buncha.
Buncha, like his job isn't a fighter, it's a coach, and he just fights kind of like he's a pad man, and then he fights around that, you know, and respect.
There are so many fighters like that.
So many.
Because in Thailand it's not like you're a good fighter and then you're getting paid.
Yeah, exactly that. Whereas in the UK, once you sort of rise above the cream of the crop, you'll get. And then obviously most of us work jobs in the UK, and also once you're cream of the crop in the UK, you can own a gym, you can hold pads for very good money. You know, it becomes a little bit easier. Whereas here, so many coaches, so many gyms, it can be harder for these really good fights to break out of that. But you're not the cream of the crop because there's so many good people.
I think in Thailand it's like very fruitful in terms of talent, but maybe not in terms of opportunity.
Yes, yeah. I think that's a pretty good way to sum it up, to be honest.
Because like even at this gym, I was talking to Phil. We had like a kid like who was here before. Like his picture is probably. He's the one next to Nursila.
Oh, okay,
yeah, and he was fighting this prodigy type kid's name's something like that, and he was beating everyone in Isan, everything, and then our kid goes in there and beats him.
Yeah.
And then it was like a big deal for our fighting level, like for from a perspective of someone inside the circuit.
Yes, yeah.
But it isn't like a big deal.
But
outside.
No one would. Yeah.
And then, so then Phil told me like many years after the story has already happened, like even before I even came in contact with this gym. So I'm like, so then where are these two guys now?
Yeah.
And like, this guy's in the military. He got drafted.
Yeah.
The opponent's doing drugs. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck.
And their talent is
just gone.
Gone. But when they had it, it's like this. They could be anything. They could be absolutely, but
there's always talent coming up in Thailand.
Unbelievable talent. Unbelievable talent.
I swear, like if you're this talented at this sport in another country other than Thailand.
If you were in England and you were like that, you would have basically everything at your feet. Even if you don't prove it in the ring sometimes. We have like unbelievably talented, like as long as you look good and you're strong, like that can take you far sometimes, even if you've not fought that much or really achieved much. That will take you far because you'll always be the next world champion or the next superstar. Like we have shows promote people as future world champion, future superstar.
There's no such thing as promoting a young fighter in Thailand. Right now.
Exactly that. You prove it first and then maybe things come off it. And even then, sometimes maybe not. In England, once you're seen as a name or you've shown something in the gym, like you look really good or something, you're the next superstar. Like literally shows will promote you as that future world champion. It's so different.
you come here to this gym, then you get your first fight in Phetch Buncha. Right?
Yes.
How was it like going to that stadium? And
I was pretty excited, to be honest. So, I had this thing of like, I spoke to Phil about 5 rounds. I said to him, like, I think 3 rounds is pretty rubbish, to be honest. I love 5 rounds.
Why do you think 3 rounds is rubbish?
Honestly, only from a watching perspective, I just don't think Thai boxing suits it. I just literally don't. I think 3 frees for an elite striking sport is not enough time for 2 elite strikers to work each other out, set traps, set fakes, build into the rounds. There's no time for it.
No time
so
for
you
adaptations.
it automatically turns it into a slugfest. I literally don't understand why it's 3 rounds. I can only assume it's because of the UFC. Like, copy the 3-round format to make it entertainment style. But they're 5-minute rounds in a different sport. That's 15 minutes of fighting. 9 minutes of fighting.
I don't think it's copying UFC. I think it's copying kickboxing.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's better for television. Because
maybe.
It's faster
paced, but then you pull all like, I just don't think it's as good to watch. I really don't. I don't think you get any time to set things up, figure it out. It turns into a bit of who can throw harder, who can throw more volume, who can override quickly. Yeah.
I would say that 3 rounds does have a room. Like, maybe there are some fights where in 3 rounds it might become better.
Yeah, of course.
But when you put
I watched good 3
2
rounds,
good
of course,
5-round fighters in 3-round rules.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling someone the other day, like, you know, like View and Ronachai who just fought on Channel 7.
Yeah.
Ronachai won the Channel 7 title. They had a fight in 3 rounds before, and before the fight at Channel 7 happened, I told like someone at the stadium, like, the last time they fought was like if they were having sex and it was just foreplay and they didn't do the penetration.
They don't get into the big bit. They don't get into the real bits. Yeah. Not that.
It's not the best way to put it.
Yeah, no, I see it. I can see the vision.
Especially for your style, it doesn't fit.
I just love fight. Yeah, like for me, I need to build into it. It takes me a round or 2 to really get my range and then start grinding people down. So for me, definitely. I basically said to Phil, like, I love 5 rounds. If there's any chance that I can earn a good 5-rounder here, Rancet, anything, that would be a dream. Like, but whatever, I'm happy to do anything. Like 3 rounds, still 3 rounds. It's a fight in the bag.
And then they found a perfect stadium for you to fight.
And then he was like, well, we'll go to Phetch Buncha. And then he also, it was like the Phetch and D show. I was like, just like a watcher's point, I was like, oh, that's
so you
wicked.
know Phetch and D before you...
Yeah, of course, of course. Phetch and D to me is number 1 traditional. Like, and it's known in the UK, of course, but like, I wouldn't say people watch it at all, but I love it. I'd say I watch it a bit, and I was just buzzing. Yeah, I thought it was.
So you'd be proud to say that you fought in Phetch and D promotion.
Incredibly, like unbelievably proud. I'll be honest. It's my best achievement. By a country mile. Yeah, no, I was absolutely buzzing with that. Even just like the one in Samui. I know it's not the one in Bangkok, and it's kind of just a label, of course, but it's still that show, and they're very good shows. I thought the Phetch and D show in Phetch Buncha, I'd watch it a few times. I was like, this is a good show. They get good ties on, good matchups. I was very happy to be on it. Yeah.
So you won your first fight by knockout?
I won my first fight in like round 2 with a knee. I fought a coach who like was very good, crafty, but I'm training twice a day. Like over the 5 rounds, as long as I didn't get stopped, it was my first fight. Do you know what I mean? I knew the route, like what it was. Do you know what I mean? It was a good fight for me. I got cut, to be fair.
And then in your second fight, before the fight even happened.
I'd lost before the fight even happened, I think. Yeah, so I fought Sarah Cram in my second fight. And
Sarah Cram as in the name of a fighter, not the province.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. The fighter Sarah Cram in Samui. So I'd watched him a little bit before, but not too much. And I knew he was like a little bit different to what I fought before. But I was pretty confident. I thought if I like go over 5 rounds, I think I'll be able to get it. And then the night before, like an absolute idiot, my bike broke my foot, scraped my leg up.
So what happened? You were on a bike?
Yeah, so I was on a bike. Look, I will be honest, I wasn't being stupid. Like, I'm pretty good at taking responsibility. I maybe shouldn't have been on the bike, of course, but I was just going about my life. Like, I was going to like 7-Eleven or something. I rounded a corner and like a dog like there came like barking and running at us.
Thai Island street dogs. Like, I've heard this story over and over and over again, and I just got caught by it. I went around the corner really slowly. Dog starts barking and running at us to bite the leg, and I just turned, and then there was like a car and people on the road, so I had to turn again. Went up a wall. Sort of came off this way, the bike landed on my leg, I'd cut all my foot up.
It was not
This is
fun.
the day before the fight.
Literally 24 hours before, bang on 24 hours
So you
before.
phoned our trainer, Ajahn.
So I phoned X straight away. I was like, Egg, I've crashed my bike. Like, you know, and I'm showing my foot. I'm like,
so then I talked to Egg about it afterwards, and he was like, so when Archie called me, or Archie called, we'll get into that later. But when Archie called me, I was in my bed, and then Archie called me, so I told him to video call, right?
Yeah.
So then he showed me his
showed
leg,
his foot, yeah.
and I was like, oh fuck.
I'll be honest, the first thing I said was like, right, I'm okay, I'm just bleeding a lot. I was like, we'll put an ankle guard, don't worry. Like, the first thought was like, don't worry, we'll figure it out, but let's deal with this now. Like, I was like, we'll get an ankle guard on it, it'll be fine. But we went to the hospital, and they sort of like cleaned it up. They were like, you need stitches in the ankle. Because like, it was like,
Stitches in the ankle, 24 hours.
Bang on, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, right. And they're like, did you get bit by the dog? And I was like, I don't think so. Like, no, I don't think I got bit by the dog. So they're like, obviously you need to do a rabies jab. And I was like, oh, I don't know. If I have a rabies jab, the fight's going to be really tough because I think they make you quite like ill. But I had some like injections for something. And yeah, got the stitches. And we were kind of like joking and laughing about it a little bit, but obviously I was like, oh my God, I've ruined like my like opportunity. Because I knew Sauerkraut was the road to Speedboat. That's how I saw Sauerkraut. I was like, beat him Speedboat.
In the Buncha circuit, there's basically a kid called Speedboat who's #1 in the stadium.
When I had my first fight, going back to the first fight, when I was speaking to like my friends about, because I'd watched the show a few times and I'd seen Speedboat a couple times, and I'd said like, I'm fighting on Buncha, Phetch and D. Someone said, oh, I wonder if you get Speedboat in your first fight. And I was like,
I reported on Speedboat winning a big side bet before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's how I know about it.
He'd always fought for bets. Someone said, you might be fighting Speedboat. I was like, oh my fucking God, I might be fighting Speedboat. You know, he's an absolute KO. KO artist, kind of running out of people maybe a little bit. Maybe they'll just like give me him. And I was like, oh my God, that's going to be a hard first fight. And then I watched him and I was like, oh, I reckon I could beat him. And then I remember speaking to someone being like, don't get too above yourself. Like, and I was like, no, I think I could beat him. Like, my style was good for him. Like, I can see what he's good at, but I can see what he's maybe not so good at as well. I was like, yeah, I want it now. I want, like, now when people were saying it, I was like, I want it. I literally messaged my coach in March. I want Speedboat. That's who I want. And that's months ago. So when I won my first fight, they then told me, win the next, you get Speedboat. So to me, Sauerkraut was the path to Speedboat. And I was fuming with myself. I was just so annoyed. And yeah, we did the fight. Hit it from the doctors with an ankle guard. Had cuts on my knee. The pain really set in like on the day. Like my knee hurt a lot, and I couldn't even do my Y crew. I remember getting on the floor in the ring to do my Muay, and I just physically couldn't. I just got up because I couldn't stay on my knees.
The shortest Y crew you ever did.
And honestly, like 5 seconds. I got on my knees. I was like, oh, I can't do it. So I got up. The plan in the fight was just maybe try land. So Ek told me not to right kick, but my original plan was to like right kick a lock, and then I was kind of lost, and then I was like maybe left kick, but I couldn't go into my knee.
That's even worse because you hurt your right leg.
Yes,
so you can't stand on your right leg.
I couldn't stand on my right leg to left. Worse. That's what I was really struggling with. I actually started low kicking him quite a lot with the foot because but I remember sweeping him and being like, oh, that hurts so much. I did it. It's like a really slow sweep. It's not like I caught and went boom. I like caught and I was like. My
slowly went down,
and my foot hurt so much. And then there was a couple of things in the fight which really just put me off. Like I remember him kicking me, and I blocked on the bad knee, and I remember just being like, "Oh my God, that hurt!" It was like I had no adrenaline, nothing. I was just like, I don't think I can block that. So I just stopped blocking the kicks, and then they started wrapping in. And I remember just like my body.
Sauerkraut's no slouch either.
No. He's got strong kicks.
He's the guy who we were talking about when we were talking about hidden fighters who were so good.
Yeah. I remember him like kicking my glove, and I was like, I'm glad my hand was up because that would have knocked me sparking. He's the best technical guy I've ever fought, 100% by a country mile. I'd say.
Probably has like 50, 100.
I don't know how many fights he actually has, but his official record is like 18-1, which is solid for like a Thai like himself, where you're fighting in the stadiums against like often bigger foreigner, you know, you're not cutting as much. Like he's got a good record. I know his last loss he told me was like 3-4 years ago. So
and I remember after that fight, I even messaged you and you just aired me. Like I just know that you were down as fuck.
I was heartbroken because like it was a mixture of I ruined my opportunity. I'm now seeing Sarakram get his opportunity against Speedboat for a big bet.
Oh, so Sarakram ended up fighting.
He fought Speedboat next. We were fighting to fight Speedboat. Speedboat was the one.
It's like a title eliminator, but
kind of without the title. Yeah, exactly that. I was heartbroken and then also where I got an X-ray and they were like, you've broken your foot in 2 places, and I remember starting to worry about my actual foot because obviously I had a very bad road rash. And like, to me, the pain was just like this big glob of pain. So I didn't think about it. And then once the cut started to heal slowly, I remember being like, my foot does not feel right. Like I can't put weight on it. I can't put it in a shoe. I couldn't walk.
So now you're starting to worry
I'm starting to worry about deeper issues. So I got an X-ray and they're like, you should probably get an MRI in case you got like a ligament tear or something from the stitches. And I was like, I'll be honest, that means going home. Like that means I need to go home. Like to start, when it's something like that, there's not much point in being here. And also I'm sad, I'm homesick. I've just been battered, like ruined my opportunities. I was straight, like I was struggling.
For so long, like you've been here for like 5 months?
Now I've been here 5 months.
5 months. 5 months away from home in a totally different country.
Yeah. And I love being at home. You know, a lot of people come here and they say like the training's like so much better than home. And in some ways it is, but I love training at home. I've got a great coach, great teammates, great gym. We do everything we do here at home, like maybe a little bit different, but we clinch 20 rounds, you know, we spar a lot. We do a lot of pads, you know. I love training at home. There's a lot I miss about home. And in that moment where I wasn't training, I had no clear future. I was just sitting in my home, binge eating, like drinking, like I went off the rails. I just went off the rails, and it was horrible. It was a horrible like 5-6 weeks of recovery. Yeah,
5-6 weeks.
Yeah. I think it took 5 weeks to get back training. Even then, I couldn't kick, and like the foot was like looking a bit, you know. And that's when the Speedboat fight got booked.
Yeah, like before we go into the Speedboat fight, like even with us at the gym, like I was talking to Ek about it. Like you are like basically his main guy.
Yeah.
I was talking to Ek about it, and like, fuck, Archie must be down as fuck, isn't he?
I just couldn't even bring myself to come in. And
yeah, Ek was like, I tried messaging him and everything. Like,
I just was so embarrassed. I just felt like this big idiot. I was so annoyed at myself. I thought maybe I'd have to go home, and I really didn't want to. But like, I was just, I was going off the rails. I really was.
So the big question is, why didn't it, like, wouldn't the injury before the fight be a built-in excuse for the loss?
So yes and no. I believe a better version of me gives a way better fight, but also I'm not deluded. His weapons were still very like difficult for me. I was walking into his teep constantly. I remember his teep just being like, oh my God, that's new. So it's maybe a little bit of an excuse, but I knew I'd lost as well. Like you have to look at what's controllable. The things I could control were tough. Like he was teeping me strong, he was kicking me strong. He's taller, so it really counteracts my style. Muay Thais rely often on being tall, like often.
And he was taller than me.
And he's taller than me. So I had this thing of like, yeah, it's an excuse because I think I can do like way better than that. I don't think he would have stopped me without the foot. Maybe he would have beat me that time. It's 50-50. Like you can make an excuse or you can look at both. You know, control the controllable or you can't control the uncontrollables. Forget, I can't help the foot. I can help maybe fighting better. I can help fighting better. So
looking back, like, would you say that you took the loss too harshly on yourself?
It wasn't the loss. It was the opportunities I threw away. It's the fact that I lost before I even got in the ring. I lost crashing my bike. You know, I couldn't even get, like, I didn't give a good fight. It was embarrassing. I was over a split second moment. You know what I mean? I was just.
So if you were actually to lose the fight,
losing's part of the game. I've lost before. I've lost, like 6 fights. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would have dealt with it. It would have been tough, but I would have got in the gym a week later and built towards the next thing. The hard bit for me was not being able to get back in the gym and like having a foot where I couldn't even like be active. I was just chucking on weight and like, eating, like not moving. That's the bit I struggled with. It was not being able to get back in the gym.
Did the Speedboat fight came up after you already came back to the gym?
Nah, I think I can't remember if I'd been training for like less than a week or if I'd just not trained at all. But they basically gave me the fight at a point where I was like, how did they told you? In a message, like I literally remember. I remember the day. It was get back in the gym by Friday. you got to fight in 6 weeks for. You got Speedboat in Rajadamnern, like get back in the gym basically.
Was there any part of your brain where you were thinking that was a possibility after the Sarakram fight?
A mixture of yes and no, because Speedboat then lost to Sarakram. Sarakram beat Speedboat in their match. So I was like, if this is the game we're playing where they want me back in this circuit, because like I'd already told Phil, I'm pretty confident I beat Speed. I told him it multiple times, and Speedboat only really fights for side bets. So when you're talking about other people's money, and I'm being confident, saying, I'd said to him multiple times, I am pretty sure I win. I'm pretty confident. So he hadn't spoken to me in that 6 weeks or seen the state I'd got myself in. So for him, it was like, cool, you got 6 weeks, that's plenty of time. Get back in the gym, you fight Speedboat, and then we can go from there. So I knew it was a possibility, and I can see how it happened, yeah.
Did the bet came also along with the matchup?
I knew it would, because Speedboat only fights with bets pretty much. Like, all of his fights are for something, even if it's like 50 or 100.
In Thailand, they would call these fighters bet eaters.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure at first it was 200k. I'm pretty sure that was the initial number.
Yes, and 200k as in 100k.
100k. I'm pretty sure that was the original thing they told me. Like, get back in gym, you're fighting. Like, yeah, for this. And yeah, I remember the day.
So, in that like state of mind where you weren't 100% like on top, and then someone messaged you and then gives you the opportunity of a lifetime, basically.
I was even angrier at myself because the weight was brutal. I mean, I was standing on the scale at like 72 and the fight was at 59, and I was like, 6 weeks on a same day weigh-in. I've ruined it. It was then I've done it again. I've ruined my opportunities by being so negative and eating and being like, you know, and I was like, Phil, can we do 8? Can we do 8 weeks? 8 weeks I can do it. And he's like, no, that's booked. 6 weeks. Thailand, bro. I know 6 weeks is a long time in Thailand.
6 weeks is like
loads
5
of time.
fights in time.
Loads of time. But I was speaking to my friends, I was saying, oh, I'd love it for those 8 weeks. And I was like, mate, that's the longest fight camp in Thailand ever. You can't. But I had not trained for 4 weeks. I had been hammering food because I emotional, just eating, and I just remember being like, oh my God, you are in for hell over the next 6 weeks.
I remember you coming back to the gym that the first time I see you, that, and then also Tam was like just pulling on you.
Tam was calling me Muay Moo at one point. He was calling me
pork fighter.
Pork fighter, yeah.
Pig.
He was calling me a pig, and he weren't wrong. Honestly,
Tam's like the biggest
yeah, I was getting the gym. He's not the shreddiest one, is he? Nah. When Tam's calling me a fat bastard, I'm like, oh no.
The gym's fat bastard.
And the thing is, like, Thais are very like honest with it. Like, I was going to my other gym where I hit pads sometimes, and they're like, touch you. All the boys here are like, what's going on?
Because like
pinching your fat. Like,
even Tam in the gym, not I would call him a panda because of his size. And then they would call something Tam's son because they are both.
Whereas Thais are obviously very often very just like washboard abs, like constantly nothing. And look, even when I'm lean, I'm not like that. I hold my fat here. But that for me is the most I've put weight on in 4 years. That's the heaviest I've been in 4 years. 6 weeks out from this life-changing opportunity. Oh, mate, it was hell on earth.
So did you have to focus both on the weight and the training?
The whole fight, the whole camp for me was about weight. And it was brutal. It was brutal. I was weighing myself 60 times a day. And I'm very good at nutrition, very good at it. I've got it all down to a T. I hit where in the West we do these scientific things, I've got that down to a T. So I'm getting my numbers right, and I'm like, mate, you're gonna have to eat not enough for the training, but you're just gonna have to get through it. So I told myself, if you do it brutal for 3 weeks, just focus on losing weight, even if you die in here, then 2 weeks out, they're gonna start killing you. You need to feel bad. Then maybe we'll eat a bit more and fuel the training and just see where we're at. It was just scary. It was scary.
You had 3 fights, and then the latest one was the only one where there's a side bet, and the only one at Raja where it's a serious fight.
And it was a serious opportunity. Phil was telling me you can change your life here. You can become a superstar here. And I'm there I know, and you've got to wake up, Arch, but you can't undo the damage. I'd made the decision, and like I said earlier about fighters who don't live the lifestyle, I didn't. It's the first time I've not done it. I didn't live the lifestyle. I didn't have to eat like that. I was the one who was out, and I was just mad at I was angry at myself. I was like, look, yeah, you couldn't train, but you didn't have to you did not have to go off the rails. I was angry at myself. I was so angry at myself. But it was like a daily, I was like obsessed over every like grain of rice I ate. I was weighing myself 6 times a day. I was doing things I would never do to lose weight. And, you know, I was talking to like my coach, my friends about it. And it was a constant like, I've ruined it. I've ruined it. And after this, if I ruin this, and the other thing that was scaring me was like, Phil was like, there's a deposit on the fight. If you miss weight, we lose that deposit.
Yeah, that's always
and I'm there like, okay. So then I'm telling myself like, all right, kill yourself to make the weight and we'll deal with the fight after. Eventually it all came off the way it should, and you know, I made weight very smooth.
And it's not even just the deposit, it's also the reputation of the gym.
The reputation of the gym and myself, you know, like I prattle on about like making weight and nutrition quite a lot. I want to be a nutritionist one day. And I'm telling myself like, if you ruin this because of weight, you lose every single bit of credibility every single bit. You can't really go back to fighting in the UK ruining this. Like, I was just telling myself, like, if I ruin this, I'm done.
It's even
like,
worse than losing the fight.
The pressure and yeah, exactly that. You have to give 100%. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to, if that makes sense. The pressure and the weight I felt for that 6 to 8 weeks was insane, man. I can't tell you how brutal it got, like mentally. Yeah, it was tough.
And other than the weight, there's also the side, but
there's also the fact that it's someone else's money, like that they've put on the line for you, and I'm the one who's told them I will win, and I'm there like, mate, I was killing myself mentally daily. It was brutal. It was like the pressure was in.
And the money didn't stop at 100K aside.
It started rising like every like week at one point, like. And thankfully, when it got raised to the big 1 million, I'd already started to make the difference. Like, I did lose. I'd got everything bang on. Like, I was doing a lot. Like I would do my long run in the morning, my extra pads and training, and then before sleeping, I'd do like a 30-minute incline walk. Mate, the pressure would get to me so much, I'd run in like 3 a.m. sometimes.
No one needs to wake you up for the run.
No, I was like running like 3 in the morning, mate. I'd like run through the streets because I'd like weigh myself before bed. It'd be like this ridiculous number, and how can you sleep? Like, what, you just settle and go to sleep? No, it was like eating me alive. So I'd like go walk or go run. It was constant. It was this constant effort to get the weight off, which is not good, but it was the position I was in, so I had to get it done.
And talking about the pressure that you felt, did you feel that the other trainers and your sparring partners and everyone in the gym felt the pressure of that fight?
It was one of them, so I'm not sure about the gym. I'm not too sure about them, but I knew that once people in the UK saw what it was, they would feel the pressure. Because I remember thinking, like, if this was someone else, like in my position, I was looking at them, I'd be like, "Oh, you're in over your head, mate. Like, if you could be in real trouble here if you ruin this. Like, you're in quite deep. Like."
And we were talking about how less approachable, like the 5-round traditional Thai circuit is compared to like fighting in the UK. And it's like you're putting yourself with like money where you don't know.
Money where I don't, and also, you know, I watch it a bit, but like I've learned over the last few years, I don't understand it. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with the gamblers, the judging, do I start slow? Do I have to? What's going on here? What is the crack? And then I just had this like thing of like, and then also the pressure comes from, are you even this good?
Back to square one.
Back to square one. Like, I just lost. Like, am I rubbish? I don't know how good I am. Like, I get ruined in here. Even in the UK, I'm not considered like anything special. Like, I'm considered like a small prospect, maybe, just from being active. Like, but I'm not like a top 10 or like known or anything.
You're not like English prodigy.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Like, people would consider me like just whatever in the UK. Like, nothing really. I fought on some good shows, had some good fights, but nothing like crazy. So I'm there like, oh, I've got this like insane opportunity. I'm not sure if I'm good enough. I just kept pulling it back to the fight. I've told myself, I've watched him, I believe I win. And usually when I weigh it up, I'm usually pretty accurate with my own analysis. So I was like, just focus on the fight, beat him in the ring, let the rest control itself. And that was the way to deal with it, really. But
so on the fight day, the bet rise to around 2 mil.
I think it was like a day before they told me it. So it went from 300 to 600. And at that point, I was like, whatever, man. It's the same fight. Like, just crack on, like, Phil. Like, do what you want. Like, I'm going to win the fight. Like, at that point, I was on weight. I'd been training. I'd been going so hard. I'd been training like a madman. Like, honestly crazy. And I was like, do what you want. I'm gonna win. I'm focusing on the win. And yeah, I was so locked in on the opponent and the fight. Like, because I remember being as well, like, this is your first fight in Rajadamnern. This is a big deal. Like, if even just that is a massive deal. Even if it was like Rajadamnern knockout, fighting at Rajadamnern for someone like me is like crazy. So I remember just thinking, like, don't look at the crowd, don't look at the roof, don't look at anything. Nothing. Go over
the lights, ignore
go
the sounds.
Nothing. Go over the ropes. It's him. If you could be fighting him in a leisure centre in England, you could be fighting him in a park. You could be fighting him
Wembley.
In Wembley. A ring is a ring. The opponent's the opponent. Focus on him. And then the day before, he told me, like, we're doing 1 million. Are you okay with that? And I was like, sure. Like, yeah, sure I am, Phil. Like,
so it's a slow, natural progression of
acceptance. Yeah. Because the thing is as well, when he said like 1 million, I remember being like, oh my God, that's like crazy, man. It's like huge money. Like, 600k is a lot, but 1 million each. Because that's because 600k is 300k each. That's different to 1 million each, which is 2 million. And I remember being like, yeah, but if you start stuttering now,
it's done.
your confidence out the window. Do it. 1 million, let's go, I'll win. 2 million, I'll win.
And I think that's the biggest side that this gym has ever, like, because we're not like gambling.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The biggest one I think is Petsila against Pangtao for like 500k each,
yeah,
so $1 million. But they were doing it because they were contending for Fighter of the Year. You're doing it.
And I'm just like some random from England who's like bang average. It was crazy.
And even I told you before that I don't even get excited for Muay Thai anymore. I'm running a Muay Thai page, but I don't.
I have to admit, I thought the fight was like buzzing. I thought everything about it was cool because like I've watched it a bit and I've got my opinions on the scene and like I just love it because no one got hurt. There was I didn't skip any rank. There was no like title or nonsense. Like
you were there in the beginning.
It's a good fight.
Second card.
Their gym likes a bet. We're up for it.
Two guys who want to fight.
It's a simple like transaction really. Like everyone wins in my opinion. So like I can see how people would be really excited for that.
I was
like yourself.
buzzed about it because I never seen something like it.
Yeah,
that's all. Because there's always gonna be like this trilogy fight, this rematch, this run for Fight of the Year, blah blah blah.
It was so insane and so like in a roundabout way. Where I'd wanted him before. I wanted to fight someone to get to him. We both ended up losing to this person. We're now kind of on the collision course, but we're going to do it in Rajadamnern for whatever reason, and we're going to put a bet on it, and that bet's just going to rise up, and it all just kind of rolled and fell into it.
I think the reason that you were doing it at Raja is because the owner of the Buncha thought it was a good fight.
Good fight, yeah.
So you were both representing that stadium, your gym, yourselves, and then.
From what I'd heard from about the promoter about me is they liked my style and who I was, and I don't know how they saw the crash. From the sense I got is they just thought I was an idiot and I'd like let them down basically. But I'd like to think there's a little bit of respect that a fighter will turn up always through that. If I turn up in that, I'm going to turn up to the fight on the bet. I'm not going to crumble. If I turned up then, I'm not going to crumble for this big bet fight, So I'd like to think they saw it as a good fight and a good matchup to put in the stadium. They trusted us with it, and I'm just so grateful for it. But that's how I'd like.
Now on fight day, the game plan was, as you are a Muay Khao, like a clincher, was for you to go through his punches because he's a Muay mat, and for you to get into the clinch, right? Preparing backstage, one detail that I want to touch on is the warm up. I see you warming up so hard. I think I was the only guy who told you to calm down.
You told me to calm down, yeah. Do you know what it was? So like, I was shadowboxing a little bit and I was getting into it. It was clinching Byron where you were like you're actually clinching, like chill out.
Yeah.
I like to have a little bit of a warm up where I feel but now that I think about it,
because Byron was telling me that like you have guys like.
Oh yeah, of course. In the UK, we do like pads before a fight. We hit like rounds of pads.
So I seen Joe Ryan do it once, and I thought it was a Joe Ryan thing.
No. Like I've seen a good few English fighters hit pads at Raja, and in the UK, it's a standard. It's a standard. If some people do like a lot as well. Some people doing like speed kicks before a fight. Like I've seen people do like 3-minute rounds.
In Thailand, you're supposed to do like 5 minutes of shadow box.
Just a little shadow box stretch. Good to go. I personally think it's bad. Now that I've sort of taken a step back, seen both sides, it's just too much. It's just weight. It's a little bit performative in my opinion. Like it's to feel good. It's to make yourself feel strong, I think. But
I think also another
think it's
thing
a bit
is because in Thailand the first couple rounds is basically a warm-up round.
yes, of course, and of course the crew's a bit of a warm up. The oil, the first 2 rounds maybe. I can see why it's different.
And the reason they told you to calm down is because so many people were seeing it, and I was like, they're gonna think he's gonna gas in 2 rounds.
That's what you were saying. Is like that people are gonna see it, and they're not gonna, and the odds can change, and it's not good. So the other thing I would say though, as well, because my coach raised this, and I was like, oh, that's a good point. Obviously, it's cold in England.
Oh,
it's not 30 degrees at home. Sometimes it's freezing. Like you got to open your lungs a bit more. Like that's where I'd say maybe a bit more of a warm up in England would make sense, because sometimes you get in England, like all your joints are cold, and that's where you'd probably need to do a bit more of a warm up.
It's hilarious because you start going out, and then you told coach that you were gonna shadow box, and you start doing the clinch.
Oh yeah.
And I see news reporters starting to do
oh no.
Archie,
chill out. I think I just sat down after that. Do you know what it was? I did feel people looking at me like.
Bro, I was felt like Thai because they thought you didn't understand what I was there.
I felt like a weirdo. I'll be honest. Shadowboxing and because I shadowbox quite clinch style as well.
I think if you do it on RWS, it
wouldn't be weird. But on this show, where you don't really get many foreigners on it at all. But now you got this person who everyone's kind of looking at anyway, because I got this bet on. They don't know who I am, never heard of me, and I'm in the back fucking throwing big swing knees. It's too much.
Even to this day, they don't know that your name is Archie Marlow. Because in Thailand, I think ever since Phetch Buncha, they wrote your name as. Instead of Archie, it's like RC.
It's literally written as RC a lot of the time.
I'll put up the fucking Thai letters up here. It's very similar in Thai.
Right, okay.
And I think it's a typo, actually.
It's a typo.
I think it's a typo, or I think they thought it was a typo.
I suppose, pronunciation, I get it a lot.
That's what I'm saying, because I think maybe they think it's a typo.
Got you, I understand, yeah.
In Thai, Archie and Asi.
Asi is a lot easier. This is the name I get called most by. If I introduce myself now, I pretty much just say Asi.
So even right now, Trainer Ek would call you Asi.
He still calls me Asi. Yeah. I've never heard him say Archie.
And I think he actually thinks your name is Asi.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm happy with it. I quite like it. Asi.
So you now have a ring name.
I now have a ring name. Yeah. I've got a ring name. Asi. I might keep it when I go home, but. Yeah, I see. I love it.
Now into the ring, you're now against Speedboat, Rajadamnern Stadium, dome projections, gambling behind everything.
Yeah.
How was it?
I did a pretty good job of blocking it out, I'll be honest. When I was sitting down before, I saw obviously the ceiling, and I was like, this is cool, but you've told yourself for 8 weeks of 24/7 telling myself what you got.
It ended up being 8 weeks because of postponement.
Oh yeah, we got it. It was postponed by 2 because of national holidays and a show move, basically.
In Thailand.
Yeah. I'd done the 24/7 visualization, what happens when you get in the ring. We're not looking out at anyone. I knew I'd know people in the crowd. I wasn't looking for anyone. It was on do your Ram Muay.
And I was talking to Ek about it, and me and him were confident about you because it's Speedboat's first time in Bangkok, let alone Raja. And I know it's also your first time fighting in Raja, but I was confident in your visualization.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, the Bangkok thing gave me a lot of confidence as well. I live here, I know everything here.
You don't have to
I've got my home, I don't have to travel, I can eat way easier, the cut becomes easier because I'm here. It gave me a lot of confidence as well. So, and then the visualization, I've got pretty good mentally, to be honest. And once I was in the ring, it felt fine. Obviously round 1 didn't really go well, but
fine, as in before the fight started, before the first bell, and then round 1 happened.
Did not go well.
Did not go well. Your defense was, I'll be honest,
dreadful, absolutely dreadful.
So it was me, Noom, Ek, and Phils and Pitep in the corner, and we were like, fuck.
There's 1 million gone. Sorry, boys. Do you know what? My plan in round 1 was really to start chopping his leg, see what his punches are about, get your range with long shots, and then later on start walking in. That's how I'd normally do a fight, to be honest. 1 and 2, chip away. Round 1 just didn't go to plan. He forward elbowed me or something so hard. He started elbowing, because we had drilled for honestly 7 weeks. Boom, every time. From day 1, that's what I was meant to do.
In the gym and in the ring, it's different.
It was him doing that to me. And I remember I remember trying to throw it and I was getting nowhere near. And he was just every time boom in my face, boom in my face. And one of them managed to cut. I don't know if it was like an over the top or a forward. And I remember just being like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Like I can feel the blood. You know, it's like when you get cut, you don't know how.
The cut was in round 1, wasn't it?
Literally round 1, yeah. Just with cuts, you never know how bad they are because you can't see it. So then you start worrying if they're going to stop it. And I just remember being like, oh, Arch, you've got to get a whack on. But I remember coming to the corner, Num was fuming, Ek was fuming.
In the corner when we saw the cut, everyone was like, you got the Vaseline, you got the cut, you got to take it. It was like the whole thing, instead of game planning, was about the cut.
The cut, yeah, of course. It's a big deal, especially because it's round 1. You now got 4 rounds.
So instead of having the time of 2 minutes to talk to your fighter,
you're dealing with a cut.
You're now dealing with a cut, and then the second round was even worse than the first.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, because once you got 4 rounds where, like, they're aiming for that now. Like, they're gonna make that worse. Like, how can you?
Also with the cut, the gambling odds and everything.
What did I go to? Like 8-1 or something
after second round 8-1.
After second round 8-1. Ah, yeah, it's dreadful.
That is
absolutely dreadful start. Everything we drilled just went out the window. I felt like I was sticking to a personal game plan, but it wasn't the right thing to do. And I will admit, I became very good in that ring at listening to the corner, and I'll be honest, trusting that corner 100% won me the fight.
And also before you move on to where you actually won the fight, in the second round you said you like went to sleep at one point or something?
Oh my God, yeah. He elbowed me in round 2, and like it felt like I was out for like 10 seconds. I had a dream. I had a full, you know when you go to sleep, have a nap on the sofa and you have like a deep dream?
Yeah, I do that in the classrooms all the time.
Like that. And I was like, I've watched it back. I can't see when it happens, but I was like out, and I woke up, and we're like punching each other, and I was just like.
So you went autopilot.
Oh yeah, I was in full autopilot, and I was like, oh, like.
And no one in the stadium knew.
This is thank God, because like if I'd maybe taken a count,
81 would have been 81.
Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine if I got wobbled a little bit and he just started sticking it on us, and oh yeah, it would have been a hard fight to come back from. But lucky you can't see it at all, but. Obviously, once that happens to you, you either wake up or you fall off. And it woke me up, to be honest. Like,
so heading into the third round, one of the things that I wanted to side note on is that you started to get the gambling injections, right? Because you're the underdog.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Archie. And I was like, what the fuck would that do?
What?
And then the bell rang, and I was like, what did I just waste my time?
Because I'm seeing people shouting me through the ropes about the money, and that Phil did it, you did it. And like, look, I want money. I'm not rich or anything. Of course I want paying. I want to make money too.
But you were fighting hard even before the money.
But it's not, when you're fighting, you're not going to fight for your coach. You're not going to go to war for your coach. It's all inside, and it's all personal.
It's only you in the world.
Only you, and there's only a very deep reason that like a Western fighter will fight, because we're not doing it for, I don't have to do it. I could get a job that pays me better. It's that didn't fall deep into me to make me fight harder. I felt like I was fighting hard. I was just doing the wrong things.
Yeah.
Trusting the corner with their advice is what then started to turn the tide. And also, once I was in the corner for round 2, I really clocked into how fit I was. I was not gassed. I didn't feel bad. I was like, I'm eating the shots. Let's start going now. Forward, 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 forward. Grab him knee.
And the moment that you started to win was when you started to get a hold of him.
When I started to get a hold of him in the clinch, because I could feel him visibly gassing more than me. I'll be honest. I could see it. I could feel it. And it started to give me. It's very common in fighting. Once a fighter starts to tire, the other then gets even fitter, because it's like, I've got him now.
That's the Muay philosophy, anyways, to win the later rounds.
You have to be fit. You have to be fit. And I was. I remember sitting in that corner like, I can do this for 10. I remember telling myself, you do this 10 rounds. You've got to like start grabbing him now. And like I say, that's when it started to turn, when I started to get a hold of him and landing my knees properly.
And I think the corner advice for that fight was for you to not let go of the clinch.
Yeah, we dealt with it a lot in the gym where like,
we had a bad day about it.
Yeah. Like I knew they wanted me to grab and just hold and hold and hold. But sometimes in the gym when you're hitting pads, in my head I'm like, okay, I've done my job. I know how to clinch, so we don't need to, or we clinch separately, so I don't need to do it on pads. Let's reset and practice the striking and the entry. But they were like, no, you do not let go under any circumstance. Not to land an elbow, not to land a punch, absolutely nothing. Once you got a hold of him, hold him, knee until the bell goes. And it worked. They know more.
And it's not as big of a deal elsewhere, but in Thailand, looking tired is a massive
deal. It's a pretty big deal in England as well. Like my coach is honestly so strong in it, and I consider it one of my better skills. Like I learned it was a big skill for me when I landed in Thailand training. Like I see guys struggling with like the poker face. My coach is hot on it. Like we do some pretty brutal pad rounds in England, and for him, once he sees you looking weak between a round, like we can't in our gym, we can't even like, oh, that's tough. We literally can't do it. We're not allowed. And it's a big skill for me where I'm very good at, I am tired, I feel tired, but I can't show it. So I felt like I started to overtake with how strong I looked. Nothing affected me really. So yeah.
And then when you actually became the favorite in the fight, I think one of the craziest corner experiences I've felt, bro. Because like I usually don't come in the corner like that. I'm here for you because
it must have been this big I needed a translator for the
I was
Thai.
always wondering like to ask you this after the fight. Did you hear me?
No, I actually really liked having you there because I trust your knowledge on the game a lot. Not just fighting, but all of it. And I really wanted an English translator. Like having someone who can relay English that I trust and who knows the game helped me a lot.
Yeah, because I think like even with the translation, I had to translate not just the language but also the understanding to explain to you as a fighter.
You're then essentially the mouthpiece of their advice. So
bro, I'm basically like there was like a railing thing. One of my leg was literally over, and I was holding on the post like it's a fucking.
Yeah, do you remember?
It's insane.
When did I overtake? In fourth, and then you became like 4-1 ish. 4-1 favorite in the 4. Yeah,
it's because everyone thought. Like it would like if you don't know both fighters and you hear that one is a puncher, the other is a clincher from England, then you're gonna go with the puncher.
Yes, of course.
Even though they're like maybe not good fighters or not top. Then at least you know that you can bank on one guy to knock the other guy.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's more likely than I would imagine from I've watched the back obviously. The optics for me where I really start winning are where he looks tired. You can see him like, and when the ref separates us, it's. And I'm there like, no, I'm in. I'm going to grab. I am going to grab you again. The big
anchor point for you in the fight was when you threw him down in his corner, like in front of his corner.
Okay,
So when you go down like that in the beginning rounds, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because I got put off my feet in 3.
Yeah, but that happened in 4th.
Yeah, so that big round where I've started to then put him on his feet and I'm pushing him, I'm kneeing him more, kneeing him heavy. He looks tired. I'm just constantly on him. I can see where it's overtaken there, yeah.
And I think like him going down, it's not just going down, it's the way he just lay flat down.
Yeah, there's no like, because even when I was down, it was no, I'm up, no, I've got to get it back. I could tell he was tired, and I knew he would. I'd said it to them for weeks. I'm going to have a tough 1 and 2 because he starts fast. He's a big puncher.
You're not going to knock him out.
I'm not going to knock him out. He might knock me out, but that's the risk you play. I remember telling myself like, you're going to get put down, Arch. You got to get up and keep going. The cut was bad, but I'd already told myself you're getting put down in 1 and 2. So when you do, get back up and keep going. So
even Egg was saying in the video I did for him,
you got to kill him, and I think he was spot on. There was nothing. It was do or die. It was get knocked out or look like you win, basically.
And a detail that I also want to point out for the video is like just always say burn the boats before you fight.
Burn the boats. I've been saying it for like a year and a half, like
even before you ever heard the name Speedboat.
No, it was never a personal thing, and I didn't want it to be like, oh, burn. No, it wasn't like personal. That's been a personal like motivation phrase for me for like a year and a half. And then when I found out about that after this tough loss, you got an opportunity to burn the boats again with this opponent in front of you. It meant so much to me. Not just as a fight, not just as a bet, not just as a stadium, just as this like comeback, like and. The camp, the bit that people don't see, me and my where I live alone, like dealing with all these stresses, the pressure, like you think you know pressure, like as a fighter, like when there's 2 million baht on the line, the pressure is sickening sometimes, like genuinely sickening. But these little they just kept pushing me through. So burn the boats.
How did you feel when you got your hand raised?
Oh my God, it was like a visualization point that I'd seen for 7 weeks. 8 weeks at that point, and I was just like, Arch, you have done it, mate. Every struggle, every pressure, every doubt, every like bit of pain in the camp, the hard training that he's put me, killing me at some points, you know. I had a really bad training session on maybe the week, and you get doubts as a fighter, the pressure. I just remember just being like, this is it. Everything you said that you trusted the process, and now it's happened. I remember like getting my hand raised, looking up to myself on the screen. I'm like shouting at myself, like, we fucking did it, Arch, we did it. Like, it was an unbelievable feeling. Absolutely.
From my point of view, we got like the whole ass Thai gambling stand
behind you, yeah.
Nah, they were just yelling, see.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it.
And I was like, what world are we
living in? What world are we living in? Absolutely unbelievable. I could hear all the knee. And I'll be honest, before the fight, that was the one bit that I was excited for. I've been to Phetch and D shows before, front row, listening to that gambler wall. I've been to the show like a good, maybe like 10, 15 times. I know it's not a lot for people here, but hearing it's my favorite thing. Like, it's something that I think a lot of shows lack, is this raw passion. Knee, and I'm kneeing them, and I can hear it. I'm like, it was the bit that I was excited for before. Like, I remember like watching videos that I'd taken of front row, being like, oh my god, that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. And then it was me. And then you're hearing the chanting, and your hand is raised. Like, it was an insane feeling. I can't put a word on it.
I mean,
really.
they put the money on the.
Do you know what it was? It was seeing Speedboat get in, and I'm like, oh my god, he's getting in the ring for me. Like, what is going on? What is going on? And then like Buncha's promoter's there, and it's like, Speedboat. He's like right next to me. I was like, oh my god.
You only seen him on like camera.
Yeah, of course. I've never met Speedboat. I've only seen him on camera. Obviously, like, who he is, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Speedboat's right. And then he hands me this money, and I'm like,
2 million baht in cash.
Like, oh my god. But it was just this feeling of elation where I just couldn't even stop laughing, like at all the stress I'd felt, all the pressure, everything. There were days where I was like, oh my god, I can't even say how bad some days were dealing with that pressure. And you can't speak to people here about it. You can't speak to the boss or your coach that like, I'm shitting myself.
They're going to shit themselves.
I can't tell anyone about it. And it was just, oh, I did it. All of it's gone. You did it. Like, you actually did it. Like,
and you did it in spectacular fashion.
And I knew it as well. Like, it was, like, coming back to the corner, I dug so deep every round. I didn't stop. Like, I've never fought like that before. Like, and he elbowed me so hard. Everyone rattled me. Like, his elbows were hard. Like, I did it.
I know you had to duck deep because I was telling you, round of your life, Archie.
Round of your life. For 3 rounds, yeah. And I really felt it, like being in the corner, I was like, oh, come on, dig deep. And then when you're at the end and you've done it, and you're just like, wow, unbelievable. Just unbelievable feeling, yeah,
and
with the money. And
the money and everything.
Everything.
Aesthetics.
Going over to Phil, like, knowing that he put so much on the line. And when I'm in the corner, I'm like, Phil, like, I did it for you. Like, I'm so glad they trusted me, and I'm so glad that I pulled it. Like, I did it, obviously I'm glad I won, but that feeling in there when you're in the ring, that's when I started to take everything in more, like hearing the chant, seeing the people in the crowd, like looking around, like, oh my god.
And you went up to the gambling stands to get your injections, right?
Yes, yeah, I got taken up.
So you would never be able to imagine.
Oh my god, that was a crazy experience. It wasn't something I'd like thought about before. But, like, I know it happens. It was frantic. It was absolutely frantic. Like, you're being pulled for photos, but obviously, like, because tourists can be in there now, can't they? Like, it's like an open stand.
It's sort of, but like they're mixed together.
They're mixed together, but
there's a lot less like gamblers in the stadium because the ticket prices.
Okay, of course. But so I'm getting pulled for photos, and then I'm getting people introduce me to gamblers who obviously, like, I don't know personally, like, and they're putting like money in my mouth, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, I don't know who then I'm trying to bow, and they're like, no, you don't bow. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, and they're taking photos. I'm like,
you're supposed to bow.
I went to, they're telling me not this, okay. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know how much money you've put with me. And then I'm being like dragged around and photos. And then they pulled me down out of the gambler stand, took me up to Speedboat, where where all the counters are.
Where I met you again.
Yes, yeah, where you took me up, and they're like interviewing me, and I'm talking to Speedboat, and some of the things you were translating, they were saying, I was like, oh my God, that's like insane things to hear. My mouth was so dry, and I'm like, it was crazy.
Speedboat was basically saying goosebumps, and one of the best fights he ever seen.
That's crazy. Like, to hear that is absolutely like,
for someone who's seen like hundreds and hundreds of events.
My God, like 100. I just.
Hundreds
of like elite level as well, like unbelievable. Like, the whole thing was crazy. Like, every second of that experience. Like, not how many would have experienced that really? Like, being pulled into the gambling stand, dealing with this, like, it was insane. Like,
especially
insane.
for foreigners, I think many foreigners would like even get to higher levels than you are at right now, and will never feel something.
Something like that, and it's a truly unique once
and I think
in a
it's
time
the first
experience.
time a fight like that has ever happened in a stadium like Raja.
Of course. Like, it's such a rare, like,
it's a very unique experience.
Very unique, very, very unique. I've had a real insight into that side of thing. And I am a really big fan of traditional and 5 round, but there's only so much we can understand. If you're not living it, breathing it, raised in it, how much can you? You're explaining to me so much. Like, how much can I understand? But to have this like to be a part of it for just a night was
the spotlight was on you.
It was unbelievable. Like,
you were damn near overshadowing the main event.
Pride TV title. Unbelievable. Absolutely.
I would say you overshadowed him.
Nah, not skill wise, but meant like just for raw crazy.
Like media coverage.
Yeah, of course. The media coverage was insane. Like, all of it was just insane. That moment with Speedboat where he's even just so close to me, talking about me, and you're translating, that is a moment I'll never forget. Never, ever, ever will I forget that. That is one of the best moments I think I'll ever experience in Muay Thai. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, even the interviewer was asking me to translate because I know the guy as well, and it was like telling me to translate you from. It was like, because usually these guys would interview like foreign fighters for like foreign shows, but this one is such a unique case where it's a lot of improvisation.
Yeah.
Like, I would never imagine talking to you about like Jimmy, like the gambler.
Yeah, and now that I'm learning about these little like characters on the scene that put so much in and play such a big role, it was like, wow, I'm actually learning about the scene that, like, from a very unique perspective, that like maybe I've started to realize how little I know, which makes me learn more. And then it's like such a unique insight. It really tells me how little we know in the UK. We just don't. I know that I'll be honest, 98% of the UK scene pays no attention to the Thailand scene. Not a thing to them, unless it's like RWS 1, something that we can really be a part of.
Something that's catered towards.
Exactly that. It's not something we watch at all. Like, simple as that.
A totally different
world.
Totally different sport.
Totally different sport. I've always said, like, UK Muay Thai and Thailand Muay Thai, 2 different sports. It's so different.
I'll be honest, like, if that fight was on like 3-round RWS, you would have been fucked.
I would have been fucked.
Because then if it's RWS, then like the first 2 rounds you lost.
10-9. The open scoring tells us we've lost. He's gone now, and I'm just like,
You're just like, fuck.
Game over, mate.
Where's the workout team?
Yeah, cannot. No, gone. He's gone a mile.
If on one with small gloves, then you probably
I'd been knocked. I'd been asleep in like 10 seconds, mate. I'd been gone.
You'd be here right now. You'd be in England.
I probably would be. Yeah, no, to be fair, the stakes of the fight for me were as well like win or go home. It was win or go home. My money was running out a bit. I needed a payday. I'd just done 5 weeks ordering crazy amount of food on Grab. Do you know what I mean? I needed a payday, and I needed some leverage Grab's favorite on that 4 weeks I was. I needed a reason to stay. I needed a payday. I needed something. And it was there, and it was win or go home, and I did not want to go home. So that was a big thing for me as well.
Now you have a photo of you in the gym.
That is unbelievable. Having a photo on the gym wall, like maybe if you put it up, it's like photo after photo after photo of just top level.
It's gonna be like Petula Fighter of the Year, and not my Channel 7 title.
Yoksom Noi title.
Chai Tone with like fucking 6 KOs in a row.
When he went on his stadium tear.
And then
Archie in the middle. Oh, unbelievable. That photo on the wall. I actually said it to Phil like a good few weeks before. I was like, Phil, if I win, can I get on the wall? And he was like, sure. I was like, yes.
Even the day after your fight, then you started going on bike rides, you're getting haircuts, and then they're starting calling you Archie.
After the fight, I went on a little holiday. I got back on the bikes. I wasn't actually even allowed to ride a bike to the gym before the fight. Like Ek, my coach here, he got me a bike because obviously like I'm traveling to and from the gym like good 15 minutes. Like you're getting grabs twice a day, and I'm not made of money. Like it adds up. And he got me he gave me his bike, or sorted me a bike. And gym boss was like, absolutely not, mate. Like, no. They took the bike.
You know how Muay Thai fighters in Thailand are having such bad luck.
Bit of a bike heist,
I think like there's one like last week.
Oh wow, yeah.
Literally,
Yes,
where
I think I
he's
saw it.
still
Yeah.
in coma
It's
right
crazy. Yeah, of course. Like, it is a dangerous thing. Thing with bikes is it's a matter of when, not if.
In Thailand,
In
especially.
Thailand, it's a matter of when. And the problem with being an active fighter, there is no good time to crash your bike. You're always in a fight camp or you're near a fight. There's no good time to crash. So why risk it as a sense? But also, I've got to travel, do you know what I mean? So,
Going back to the point is that you starting to get recognized by Thai people, like your bike riders, your barbers, are recognized.
oh yeah, of course, yeah. Like, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, no. I got a grab like the morning after. I got a bike taxi literally the morning after. It was the first one I got from the hotel I stayed in to go home. And he's like, took his camera out and he's like, I see. He was started chanting like they were in the stadium. He's like, I see. And he's like taking photos with his big grab helmet on. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I was like, is this going to be like regular? Is this like, what sort of level of popularity I'm at? Because I'd seen all the Facebook posts. I knew there was loads. It was like thousands of comments all in Thai talking about the fight, all on, I kept like seeing myself on suggested. Like, it wasn't like pages I followed. It was like, just suggested.
Just feeding
You're
you.
feeding me. I was like, that's me. That's me right there. I'm like,
Feeding you yourself.
I was like, oh my God, it's me.
Your interest is you.
Yeah, I was like crazy. I was like, that's me. And then the barber story is one of my absolute favourites. So I'd gotten a haircut obviously before the fight, and I've been going to my regular barber. He's right next to where I live, and I told him I was fighting, and he told me, he was like, oh, I watch with my dad like every week. Like, I love, and he likes having a little bet as well. And he was like, oh, I'll watch you, I'll bet on you. I don't think he'd quite got I don't think he realised like how big the fight was or what it was. Like, he was like, oh, I'll watch, I'll tune in, I'll watch, And then I went back into him like after the fight, and he was like, I see, I bet on you in round 2. He translated, he was like, I got on you at like 4-1 or something like that. He was buzzing. He was like, you never pay for a haircut, you get free haircuts for life. He was like, what are you doing? I've never seen a fight like this. Like, he was
relentless knees.
Yeah, he was buzzing. He was so excited, and it made my day. Honestly, the haircut took like an hour and a half because we were just talking, he was taking photos, and he was telling me about the money. He said his dad, he'd never seen a foreigner fight like that. That was like a
and it's because the shows, like the 5-round shows, are made for people like that.
Yes, of course. Like he said his dad's like 60, and like they don't watch one or RWS. They watch.
Depends on the people. The sport is changing.
Of course.
Yeah, in general,
like he won't have seen. Of course, I'm not the best foreigner there is. I'm not even close. Like, but for someone like that, where if these are the shows they watch, they probably haven't seen many like at all. Let alone someone who performs like that on that one fight with this unique type of style, where we're not often Muay Thai fighters in the West. Obviously, it's more punch or like quite good at kicks maybe. But yeah, hearing that, I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And the fact that he won money on me, I was buzzing. And I gave him a big tip for the haircut, and he was like, oh, he was so excited. That memory.
So he was going to do it for free. And then
I'm not. Yeah, I gave him like double the haircut price. I'm not going to let him do it for free.
Betray your barber.
No, you can never betray your barber. No. They're in control of a lot. I'll be honest. I actually had a bit of a haircut mare on the fight day, and it actually like affected me a bit. So
really?
I went to a different barber to book it. Just because I didn't want to risk a walk-in on like weight cut day. And they gave me like a new barber, and they literally told me like, oh, he's new, like we're going to translate for you. And I'm like, I remember saying to them, like, I was like, I'll be honest, I'm on like TV like tomorrow, like, can he cut hair? They're like, yeah, no problem.
No problem.
This hair, yeah, like that. This haircut was a problem, bro. It was a big problem. Like it was a mare. Like it was dreadful. I'm like, I'm on TV. It's the biggest fight of my life. They're going to take loads of cool photos, and my hair is fucking dreadful. Like I look so ridiculous. It wasn't even straight at the back. So I then went to him, who I normally go to. I was like, bro, please fix it, please. And he did such a good job of fixing it, and I felt all sharp, and then I felt confident, and it does make a difference. You can't, when you're in the ring for the people, you can't feel like not confident. I know it's a minor thing.
Nah, even with Thai fighters, they would tell you to get haircuts before
you have to. You gotta look good. It's the fight day haircut's a big risk. It's make or break. And I had this break moment, and I'm messaging my coach like, fucking look like an idiot, and I went to him and he fixed it. So I was never gonna not reward him for his beautiful work. Yeah.
That's a metaphor for the fight as well. Like break, and then you came back.
8 weeks of break, come back. It is so over. We are so back. It is so over. We are so back. It's just this constant up, down, up, down, up, down. But
so if that's the story for the fight, then what's the story for you in the next chapter?
In the next chapter now, the pressure feels off a little bit with the money. I mean, the next fight might have a side bet. I believe it does. But now that I'm back in shape, I'm back just living the lifestyle as normal, I feel a lot more confident off the back of that win. You know, I'm not a delusional person. I'm pretty honest with myself, to be honest. But now it's just a personal thing. You know, losing that fight was not easy. And I'd like to obviously get the win and come back.
So you're rematching Sarah Cram.
I'm rematching Sarah Cram now, in 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm rematching Sarah Cram. And for me, it's now, if they put a bet on whatever they put on, I literally won't enter my head, I'll be honest.
You already did that.
It's not personal, but I've actually got a lot of respect for Sarah, and we actually speak a little bit on you know, we always talk, you know. I went to see him after the fight. He's a lovely guy, like great fighter. I've got a lot of respect for him, but he knocked me out in like round 4. Like, he put me on the floor. You know what I mean? He hurt me. I would like to get that win back, and I'm doing everything I can to get that win back. I want to win and show that I can come back like that. So that's what's next for me.
One thing that shows me about this whole story is that it's just 3 fighters in a stadium that's not that popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it creates a story. You know, fight, and this is why the fight as well was so interesting. Is fighting's about stories. It's not often just about you fight. Often it's about stories, the build, the comeback. A 5-round fight is a story, and the build-up often is as well. So that's what makes it so interesting. We've all got our little stake in it, and now I feel like I'm in the final, if that makes sense. The rematch with Sarah Graham, this is the final, and we're gonna see who comes out. Yeah.
The point I was gonna say is that you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. You just need a few guys and a stadium and a crowd, and that's it.
At its core, that's what fighting is, isn't it? It's a crowd that's interested, that gets behind it. 2 fighters who have trained hard and want to win. It's not a complicated sport in that sense, really. Yeah.
And the last question for this whole thing is, what's your end goal for fighting?
I'm not really sure. You know, like, I want to love the journey. I want to obviously be as good as I can be. I want as many memories as I can. Like, you know, this is a story I'll tell
your grandchildren,
my grandchildren. But I've got loads like that. You know, like, it's obviously nowhere near the same scale, but the time me and my boys in England did a van road trip, 5 hours to fight, and they're wrapping my hands in the van, you know, these stories go so far. At the time I fought twice in 2 weeks and won, that, you know, the time I took a fight on like 3 days, these stories I love. That's what fighting's about for me. It's memories and stories. I'd like to have 50 fights by the time I'm like in my 30s. And they'll all be memory stories. They'll all make me a better person. They'll all make me understand Muay Thai more. So I just want to love the journey, enjoy the training, enjoy getting better.
So you'd be happy with your career, even if you never win like a big championship belt?
Yeah, of course. You know, because, you know, we do belts in England different to here, and they are what they are. You know, I see them in England as like a separator. They separate people's levels. Once you're an English champion, you're kind of there. Now, next you go British, next you go, you know, European or whatever. It's like a level separator, you know. But they're nonsense. Of course they're nonsense. They're not like this. It doesn't make you number one often, you know. So I'm sure I'll fight for belts. I'm sure I will. That's the name of the game in England. But no, it doesn't really, like, it's not something that like motivates me massively. It's not like I want to be a particular world champion. I mean, when it comes, I'll be incredibly proud. You know, if one day I'm a world champion, cool. But no, I wouldn't say I'm like grinding for that. I'm grinding for the journey, for the next fight, for the next one. You know, once Sarah Cram's done, there'll be a next fight. There'll be a next one. There'll be a next one. It's always on to the next for me. So enjoy the journey, make memories.
And I think that is a good note to end the interview with. For the people watching or enjoying this, leave it in the comments or whatever you're supposed to say in this part of the video. Who you want to see next, I will try to make happen. You can put in suggestions. I'll rock up to whatever gym or whatever place, and I'll try to make it happen. See you in the next one.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.